Correlational analysis. Correlational analysis is a statistical approach used to determine the relationship between two or more variables. It helps identify whether changes in one variable are associated with changes in another and, if so, the strength and direction of that relationship. In educational management, correlational analysis is often applied to study connections between variables such as study habits and academic performance or teacher-student ratios and achievement levels. 1. Correlation. Correlation measures the direction and strength of the relationship between two variables. It is typically represented by a correlation coefficient, R, ranging from -1 to 1. Positive correlation, values close to +1, indicates that as one variable increases, the other also tends to increase. Negative correlation, values close to -1, indicates that as one variable increases, the other tends to decrease. No correlation, values near 0, suggests no apparent relationship between the variables. Example in educational management: if a school administrator wants to know if there is a relationship between students' hours of study and their test scores, they could calculate the correlation. If a positive correlation is found, it suggests that increased study time is associated with higher test scores, though it doesn't imply causation. Advantages: helps identify relationships among variables, which can guide further research or intervention strategies. Can analyze data easily using various statistical software. Disadvantages: correlation does not imply causation, meaning a relationship between variables does not mean one causes the other. External factors, confounding variables, may influence the observed relationship. 2. Regression analysis. Regression analysis is used to predict the value of a dependent variable based on the value of one or more independent variables. Unlike correlation, which only identifies a relationship, regression provides a mathematical model for prediction, often represented by a linear equation. Simple linear regression examines the relationship between one independent and one dependent variable, while multiple regression involves more than one independent variable. Example in educational management: in a school setting, a regression analysis might be used to predict students' future test scores based on variables such as past performance, attendance, and homework completion. By modeling these relationships, school leaders can identify factors that most significantly impact academic performance and allocate resources effectively. Advantages: provides predictive insights, which are useful for planning and decision-making. Helps identify key variables that may impact an outcome, aiding in focused interventions. Disadvantages: requires assumptions about the data, e.g., linearity, independence, which, if unmet, can skew results. Sensitive to outliers, which can affect the accuracy of predictions and the validity of the model. Application in educational management. In educational management, both correlation and regression analyses are invaluable tools for data-driven decision-making. Correlation can help administrators understand relationships, e.g., between student engagement and performance, while regression analysis can aid in forecasting outcomes and identifying areas needing intervention. For example, a school may use regression analysis to predict graduation rates based on attendance and GPA, allowing for targeted support initiatives for at-risk students. Both techniques support evidence-based practices, although it is essential to interpret findings cautiously and consider potential confounding factors to avoid misleading conclusions.